Welcome to Coach's Corner as we hit the last weeks of the high school winter sports seasons for our basketball teams. The playoffs begin today or this week, and certainly they'll have a choice as to whether they advance on. If you win, you advance on. If you lose, your season's over with, and we'll talk a little more about that. Tonight, as we record our program, we've got Coach Fincher with us, and I know, Coach, a lot of people won't see this until later in the week, but it's senior night for our high school basketball team. You have 3 girls that are on your team, plus you have some trainers and managers, and I know senior night, no matter what school, this is your first year with these kids, a very special night.
Well, it is, and it is my first year, but these kids, we've spent a lot of time together, practice and stuff like that, and these are some really good kids, and I've really grown to respect these kids and their work ethic and their character on and off the court. So yeah, it is a special night.
Well, people know that Claren and Kenzie have been a big part of our program, as Allie Freeman has. They've all started a lot of games and meant a lot to our program, and certainly this season with 10 wins. Yes, some young ladies, though, that are your trainers and managers that also do a great job.
Yeah, Selena Morales and Haley Kirchenbauer have really worked hard for us, and filming, keeping book, water and all that stuff, and we really appreciate them also.
Absolutely. So senior night, and everybody will enjoy that. Guthrie is a team that we've beaten twice this year, so your girls basketball team would have to feel some confidence, and it's a big game because this could be our 11th win of the season too.
Yeah, and Guthrie's coming off a win over top 5 Shawnee, so we know they're playing pretty well right now, but we know that we can beat them, and they hopefully they're coming in here question whether they can beat us or not, having beaten them twice in 1 week. So, but we're going to have to play hard and get after it and see what happens.
It's interesting because people will ask, and in your playing days, people will ask, what do you remember? You'll remember a lot, but that last home game, I think, is, I can remember it like it was yesterday, and it was 40 years ago. You tell kids that they'll never forget their last home game wearing that uniform.
Yeah, and it is special. It is special for those seniors, and we I like to challenge the younger kids to make sure that they help send those seniors out in style, and because one day they're going to be a senior, and they're going to want some underclassmen to help them have a great senior night.
And as young as your team is, that'll be just about everybody, because the underclassmen will have to play a big role if we're to win that ball game on senior night.
Well, that's every night. We play so many kids every night, and freshmen, sophomores, a couple juniors, and we've while we got 3 this year, we got a lot of kids coming back, and those kids will have to play well for us to get a win tonight.
My goodness, how fast the season goes, and here we are down to the nitty gritty. It's playoff time. Thursday, our girls have a neutral site game against Midwest City. The game will be at Owasso at 6:30. Neutral site game, certainly a good scenario, but the opponent you drew is very, very difficult.
Well, they are. They're extremely talented. They're ranked in I think, number 6 or number 7 in the state. But it is at a neutral site. They're going to be long and athletic, and they've got a couple really good guards and a post player with some size. So it's going to be a challenge for us, but excited to have everybody on the court at the same time and get healthy and go see what happens.
Do you play the Monday game with in mind the Thursday game? Because I know the most important game is that Thursday, and I say that the senior night game's awfully important too. Or you just let it fly and whatever happens, happens.
Well, we'll go into it, with a game plan of beating Guthrie, and but we have to go into it with the realization that we can't get anybody hurt tonight. We haven't had everybody on the court together, starters and some reserves. We've missed some since the Enid game on the 26th, and we've got to. I want to go get that win tonight for those seniors and for the program, but we got to be smart about it also.
Absolutely, and players that have been injured, you want to make sure they're healthy for that Midwest City game. And I don't mean to do this to you. I know Owasso plays in the other regional game, and I can't remember who they play, but they are, I believe, the top seed off the east side. Who do they play, Coach?
Bixby. They play Bixby.
And a lot of years, Bixby's been very successful. Owasso's very successful. Midwest City it sounds like to me, Coach, that a lot of years they would be a top 4 seed. So this is pretty loaded up.
Well, it is, and Midwest City is actually ranked higher in the state than Owasso is. Owasso just snuck in with one of the top 4 seeds, so it is definitely the toughest regional in the state in 6A, maybe anywhere. But it's going to be an uphill battle. But we've worked really hard all year, and we've actually scrimmaged all the 3 other teams in our region. So we've gotten a look at them and know what's coming.
And certainly the neutral part of it's very important. It's been a while, probably since our state tournament team, that we haven't been on the home court of another team for the first round of the playoffs. And that is a great neutralizer, is that you play Midwest City, but you do so in Owasso. So that takes away, obviously, that great home court advantage that those top 4 teams have.
It does, and one of our goals was to play a neutral site game in that regional tournament, at least one game, and then a goal in the future is to host a regional tournament, and the way these kids are working, we sure think that's a possibility in the future.
And the key again is to win, because then you will play on Saturday, but you're guaranteed a trip to the area tournament the next week, and you never know what happens. But the whole key, and it really comes down to a 1-game season, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and we've worked extremely hard. The kids are prepared. They know what's going on, and we don't have to beat Midwest City 4 or 5 times. All we have to do is beat them once, and our kids know that, and they'll go out and work their hardest and see what happens.
And Coach, that's a little unfair. I guess I didn't put that right. Your season's not going to be defined no matter what happens Thursday. I think the season is still going to be defined in many ways as a positive season. A lot of great things happen. So, our girls, win or lose, are going to have to come out of that with their heads up high, because they had a great year.
Yeah, they know what's at stake, and they're going to be disappointed whether everybody thinks Midwest City should beat us or not. If we don't win, they're going to be disappointed, and that's I think that's a step in the right direction for us, because there's been some times during the year that I think we didn't have as high expectations, and these kids have invested in this program and want to win, and are looking forward to it.
Well, hopefully the season will go at least another week and a half, but it's been a very, very fast season, and our girls have had an outstanding year so far, and we hopefully can continue that on Thursday in Owasso against Midwest City. If you're watching this, the game will tip off at 6:30 that evening. Coach, we'll see you tonight for senior night. We'll see you on Thursday, too.
Thank you.
Jody Fincher, our girls basketball coach on Coach's Corner.